for me as a Christian with the belief in Jesus Christ, not how that makes me subject to oppression and servitude, but on the contrary, how that helps me find the best way of expressing the best of the human spirit. And it was actually Einstein who was not an atheist, in fact. He believed in the supreme being, although he did not necessarily subscribe to organized religion, who said religion without science is blind. But he also went on to say science without religion is lame. And I would say that, for me, faith is not about certainty. It is in part a reflection, indeed, of my own awareness of my own ignorance. And that though life's processes can be explained by science, nonetheless, the meaning and purpose of life cannot be. And in that space, for me at least, lies not certainty in the scientific sense, but a belief that is clear and insistent, and I would say rational, which is that there is a higher power than human power, and that higher power causes us to lead better lives in accordance with a will more important than our own. Not in order that we should be imprisoned by that superior will, but on the contrary, so that we can discipline and use our own will in furtherance of the things that represent the best in human beings and the best in humanity. So I think this debate this evening has been a fascinating and I think deeply important debate about probably the single most important issue of the 21st century. I actually don't think the 21st century will be about fundamentalist political ideology. I accept it could be about fundamentalist religious or cultural ideology. And the way that we avoid that is for those people of faith actually to be prepared to stand up and to debate those people who are of none. And for those people who believe in a world of peaceful coexistence, where people do cooperate together, recognize that there are people with deeply held religious convictions and that those convictions impel them to be part of that world of peaceful coexistence, even though it is true. There are those who in the name of religion, and indeed, as a consequence of religion, will sometimes do things that are horrific, bad, evil, and in my view, totally contrary to the true meaning of faith. So I don't stand before you tonight and say that those of us of religious faith have always done right, since that is plainly wrong. But I do say that throughout human history, there have been examples of people inspired by faith that have actually, rather than contributed to the suppression of humanity, contributed to its liberation, spiritually, emotionally, and even materially. And it is those people that I stand up for here with you tonight. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate something that Peter Munk said at the beginning of this evening's talk. It is one thing to get up and give a set-piece speech on a subject that you're intimately familiar with. It's something quite entirely different, though, to appear at a public event, a global event such as this, to have your ideas contested and combated by someone who is every inch your peer, and to do so with the eloquence and conviction of our two debaters. So please join me in a round of appreciation. Thank you. We'll be off in a second. Yeah, I'm just going to tell them of the vote. So stay here, just 1 second. Bravo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this debate is not over yet. Because of the huge size of this audience, it's going to take us some minutes to tally a second audience vote on our motion and to find out who won this debate. So I'm going to ask the audience members and our debaters to proceed to the post-debate reception next door, where we'll reveal the results shortly. And let's just very briefly see where the state of public opinion started in this room tonight, with 22% of you in favor of the motion, 56 opposed, and 21% undecided, a large number indicating that they could change their vote also. You have your ballots with you. They were included with your program. Simply hand them to the usher. And again, we will announce those results in the public reception to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, start voting. We'll see you in the reception. Thank you. You can both go off together if you like. Yeah.